Hello, welcome to Giggles and Gratitude. I'm Dina.
Hello, everyone. I'm Diana.
Hello, Diana.
Hey.
Welcome, everybody. We're so glad you joined us. If you're first time listening, we are a podcast with two episodes a week, one on Sundays where we kind of talk about our week and how our faith plays into our life. And Diana does a great inspirational devotion for you. And then in the midweek, we have a episode where the topics change and it's something we try to just entertain you, educate maybe, and learn together and laugh. Mostly
Uh,
laugh, I hope.
and let me just throw in there that
Sure.
Miss Dina she comes up with some crazy stuff that we talk about. So you cannot miss an episode or you just are going to miss
Thank you, I think.
out. Right?
This week, we are going to talk about just a little tease. We're going to talk about travel to Mexico. Diana's very experienced in this, and there's some fear out there. And is it founded fear? Should we live in fear? Should we make decisions based on fear? Is it smart to be cautious? I'm going to ask her some questions and give you some facts about what's really going on out there according to statistics. And then Diana's going to tell you real life experience. So tune into that this week.
Yay.
All right, today, Diana, I had a really bad day. I can't remember which day it was this week, but I just woke up, as they say, on the wrong side of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
No particular reason, but I was short with my mom. I was short with my dog, my cute little dog. And I felt impatient. I felt on a tense and on edge, like my nerves were on edge.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really did find out what exactly was bothering me, but I had to run some errands and I went out and I was pumping gas. And I don't know if I had a frown on my face or what, but a lady came up to me while I was pumping gas and she gave me one of those little Jesus statues. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah.
them.
I have one.
Oh, do you?
One of my patients brought it. I
Oh,
love
great.
it.
Yeah. And she said, "You look like you could use a little Jesus." And
Oh,
and he loves you. And she gave me a little card brochure. And I said, "Well, I love him too." And yeah, I did need a reminder of that right now. So to me, that was like miraculous and it changed my day.
well, it took a lot. Let's break that down. You're at a gas station, it's strangers, and you have a random lady walk up to you, and immediately you probably, just like you were talking about in the very beginning, we should have that healthy fear of things that can happen. And nowadays, you just have to be cautious. So the fact that
Yes.
she had the courage to come up to you, she not only recognized you were maybe something was going on, you were having a bad day, but she made the conscious effort to get her little Jesus and her card and walk over, and it made a difference in your life. And
Yeah.
that's God.
I agree. I agree. And you're right. I could have just snapped her head off and told her she was crazy or Lord knows what, because it's not always popular to
Well,
say
then
that
you
to
would have
people.
had to call me, and I had to get you out of jail.
But yeah, but she was very happy. She's like, "Yay," when I said I love him too. So
Aw.
that made me think about being angry, being short with people, not being at peace, whether there's a reason for it or you can't quite figure out why. So I found a good video on YouTube from a channel called Bible Grace. And I'm not real familiar with Bible Grace, so I'm not saying that I would agree with everything on their page. If you go to it, this is the only video I've watched. So let me just say this one spoke to me. There may be something on there that doesn't. So you can check it out and decide what you think for yourself. And that's on YouTube, and I'll include a link. But the title of the video is How to Never Get Angry or Be Bothered by Anyone. Sounds good, doesn't
Oh, I need to hear that.
it? Well, you're just the sweetest little angel person I've ever known. Do you get short with people like that?
Um, no, I'm very good. I have learned through the years of experience to recognize my own feelings, emotions, anger, whatever it is, and set that to the side. And I was a supervisor for a long time. So you have to kind of sift out the emotions, get to the root of the problem. And yes, it can happen to everybody.
Okay. Okay. I can't imagine it, but I'll believe you. I actually went to, I won't say what's an office supply store, a big chain, and I was printing out my taxes, so I wasn't in a great mood about that. But I was out of ink, and I went to there and asked, I couldn't find the number ink I needed, and I asked a guy that was like stocking shelves. I said, "Can you help me with ink?" And he said, "What do you want?" And I said, well, I just can't find this number and it's always here, I always buy it here and it's just nothing there. Do you have it somewhere else? I have no idea, he said. And I said, oh, well, I'll go find somebody who has an idea about it. He said, no, just give me a minute. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. This is exactly how they talk to me. And I said, oh, okay. He said, I don't know what we have. I have to look it up on my phone. And I said, okay, I appreciate that. And he looked it up and said, no, we don't have it. And I thought, wow, rude. So I didn't say anything. I just walked off and I found the color ink I needed. I went to the counter to check out and waited for a while. And when I got up to the checkout, he walked up and started talking to the cashier. I don't understand what we're supposed to do. But I don't understand where I'm supposed to be counting. I don't know. And she looked at me like, I'm sorry, he just stepped in front of you like that. And she said, I'll help you in a minute. And he walked off and I said, I couldn't stand it. I said, he was very rude to me back there in the back. And I know you don't care. Nobody cares. People were looking at me. Nobody cares about that anymore, but I'm stating for the record, that is a rude man. And he was rude to me. And she said, this was before I got the Jesus. And she said, I do care. I do care and it matters. And we're getting a new manager and I will write that down. If somebody ever
Right.
says things like that, we write it down. And I said,
Yeah.
well, maybe he's just having a bad day, but it did hurt my feelings. So
Hmm.
I don't know if I handled that right or not, but
Of
okay.
course you did.
You think
Yeah,
so?
I do. I think an employee's activity and performance, you know, reacts to who you're supporting. Meaning, if you're a member of Kroger, you want that to be employee to be representable, professional, courteous at all times, and regardless of your feelings, you sometimes got to put it to the side, no matter how hard they act or how bad they act.
Yeah.
But there is a point where, when it gets to being unrealistic that we are going to make any dent in this conversation, positive or negative, then sometimes it's best just to step away.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I added him to my prayer list, as I say.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, here, this would be good advice for him. Maybe he'll listen.
maybe he will.
Okay. Jesus faced betrayal, we know, lies and humiliation, yet he never reacted with rage. How? Because, because peace wasn't something he tried to keep, it was something he carried inside.
Hmm.
And we can too. Here's how to walk in that same unshakable peace. I love that. Unshakable peace that nothing and no one can disturb. Would you like to know how?
Amen, sister. Keep preaching.
Okay. Number one, your peace is a form of protection. The enemy doesn't always attack your money or your health. Sometimes it just wants to get a reaction out of you.
Hmm.
Because when you lose peace, you lose focus. That's why peace isn't just a feeling, it's armor. According to Philippians 4:7, the peace of God will guard your hearts and minds in Jesus Christ. Peace guards you, but only if you stand behind its walls. So I was not standing behind my wall of peace that day.
I was going to say, standing behind that wall is a challenge, and daily we come up on people like that. So keep going. I'm learning.
Okay. When someone tries to provoke you, whether they know it or not, they're testing your spiritual defense system. Every time you stay calm, instead of clapping back like I did, you're saying, my peace is worth more than this argument.
I'd say there is no argument that is worth taking my peace ever.
Right. And I think that might be a good thing to say in your
Mhm.
mind when somebody
Mhm.
provokes you, step back and say, my peace is worth more than this argument. So the next time anger rises, remind yourself this isn't about that person provoking you. It's about protecting what God gave you, and that is inner peace. Number two, offense is a trap, not a test. Every time someone offends you, it's not random, which that's interesting. That's according to these people. It's strategic. The enemy knows he can't steal your peace directly, so he baits you into giving it away voluntarily. And that's based on what Jesus said in Luke 17:1. It is impossible that no offenses should come. He didn't say you could avoid being offended. He said you could avoid living offended. And boy, don't we live offended.
Wow, oh wow, that's a whole sermon in itself.
Offense is a trap. It's a trap, people.
It is
Offense is
true.
a trap. Yeah. That keeps you replaying the moment over and over, rehearsing the pain and reliving what hurt you.
Yeah, and allowing guilt to take over, and I'm so bad about that.
Really.
For some reason, that is the hardest wet blanket I have to shake off of me, and I just take things so personal. And for whatever reason, that's a real hard area for me.
I should have said this. I shouldn't have said that. I should have done this. I should have done that.
Yeah.
According to this, the more you think about that and replay it, that offense, the person that offended you, the deeper you're going to sink.
It grows like a cancer.
Mm. Forgiveness isn't about ignoring the hurt. It's about refusing to let the hurt own you. You let go not because they were right, because you want your freedom back. Now, I would say, I would add, we discussed this before, forgiving is not always about making yourself feel better. Forgiving is because God instructs it to forgive. You do it in obedience also. Another saying is, you don't forgive for them, you forgive for yourself, which does help you too. But biblically, we are supposed to forgive for that person, to give that person peace too, which is so hard.
It is.
Because as long as you stay offended, you stay bound to the person who hurt you. And peace can't live where offense still breathes. Okay, number three, stillness, Still, stillness is strength. Oh, and I agree with that. I agree with that so much. To be out into the world where there's craziness and people saying things that you can't believe, doing things that they can't believe, cutting in front of you, getting your parking place, if you can find that stillness, it just rolls off your back. And sometimes I can. I go out with this peaceful stillness and I actually kind of giggle when somebody does something rude to me.
That's a good way to take it on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like, look what they did. Wow. The world will tell you, especially women, I would say, to speak up, be strong. Women have been held back and oppressed, and you're too polite. And the world will tell you that. Clap back and prove your point. But the Spirit says, be still. Exodus 14:14 declares, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still, and that is not weakness, ladies. What do you think about that?
Amen. 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 That's actually strength.
It is. It's harder to be still. So
Amen.
takes more
Absolutely.
strength. Yeah. And that's wisdom because stillness doesn't mean silence, it means surrender. When you choose peace over reaction, you're telling heaven, God, I trust you to handle this because I can't. Some battles are meant to be won through restraint, not reaction. That's how Jesus responded to false accusations, not with anger, but with peace. And boy, doesn't that set me off when somebody accuses me of doing something I didn't do. Woo.
Well, thanks for the note on that. I will write that down so I know that about you.
I did not do that. Don't you say that? He knew his silence said more than any argument ever could.
Wow. That's deep. We need to
Yeah.
have that written on our mirror each morning as we get ready so we can read that. That's
Yeah.
powerful. I love that.
Yeah. I might need that on my rearview mirror I have a little bit of road rage.
Let's go get a sticker and we're going to plaster that everywhere. Dina's going to
Silence.
order them for us all. Get
Yeah,
about
I could put them in
500.
our shop. Yeah. Silence says more than any argument. Stillness doesn't prove you're powerless. It proves you're protected. And when you stop fighting for control, you start watching God fight for you. Number four, peace grows where pride dies. Most anger doesn't come from pain, it comes from pride. Boy, ain't that the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Because pride whispers, they shouldn't have talked to me like that. They owe me more respect than that. And before you know it, your ego is running your emotions. Guilty.
I guess my laughter means I am too.
You're like, oh, I remember doing that. And again, as women, I mean, this is certainly true for men too, but as women, we were kind of grew up within the women's lib movement and speak your mind and don't be run over and demand respect. And I think you do deserve respect. You don't want somebody to run over you, but let God handle it. Speaking, I'd say speak calmly and say, no, I did not do that. And then move about your day if you can, even though you
Right.
think everybody else thinks you did it. The truth will come to light eventually.
Mm,
According to James 4:6, it reminds us that God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Humility isn't thinking less of yourself, it's thinking more like Christ. Pride
mhm.
and proud has become a positive word when the
Right.
Bible says pride comes before fall. So I think we all have to readjust our mind on that, readjust it. When pride dies, peace lives. You stop needing to win every argument. That would be good for a marriage too.
That's right.
You stop needing to be understood by everyone. Everyone doesn't have to understand what you're saying.
No, as long as you do,
Yeah,
and your spouse or whatever.
yeah. Peace comes when you care more about your spirit than your image.
And that takes a while, especially if someone is younger and everything is about their image, their
Hmm.
look, their weight, what they wear, where they live, all
Hmm.
those things. I think
Well,
that's probably harder for their generation than it was our generation.
it could be. It could be. Yeah. So peace comes when you care more about your spirit than your image. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all.
Nothing. Mhm.
Ding, ding, ding. Just smile. Let it go. I mean, that really makes people mad when you just smile and walk away. Know that God saw it all.
Mhm.
So you could even say that. God saw that. God saw you. Bye. Number five, you can't stay angry when your eyes stay on God. Peter walked away until he looked at the storm. That's exactly what happens when you shift your focus from God to people. Oh, stinky people. Your peace begins to sink. Isaiah
Mhm.
26:3 says, you will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. Peace fades when attention drifts.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, that's why prayer is so important. Sometimes that's the last thing I do. And I think, well, do you know what's wrong with you? I might call a friend or tell my mom or lay in bed and cry about something and Google, what should I do? Why don't I just pray first? It's so silly.
And then you're like, oh, that's right. God.
Just have God there I can talk to. That's all.
It's-
Because the moment you stare at what hurts you, you forget who heals you. You can't control how people act, but you can control where you look. So when anger rises, don't react, redirect, look back at God. Well, if you can just remember that one sentence, then you're good, you're golden.
That's right. And
You,
there are times in the storm where that is all that you can remember.
well, it's funny you say that about a storm because the next line says, He's the anchor that keeps your heart steady when emotions want to take over.
Mhm.
So
Amen.
what do you need when you're in a storm? You need a big old anchor.
And a big umbrella.
Go below deck. When your focus stays on him, your peace becomes untouchable. And your spirit is, and I love this, unbothered. I am unbothered. Number six, your
Mm.
calm is your witness. Sometimes the greatest sermon you'll ever preach won't be with words, it'll be with peace because the world expects you to clap back, break down, or lose control. But when you stay calm in chaos, people notice that
Mhm.
and they ask you, how come you're so calm? Well, I'll tell you. Your
So
peace,
happy you asked.
yeah, I'm so glad you asked. Your peace speaks louder than your defense ever could. Matthew 5:9 says, Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the children of
Word
God.
of God.
Yeah.
Amen.
That means
So
peace. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so in order to do that, I would strive every day because I want to be called a child of God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good, Diana. That means peace isn't just something you feel, it's something that reveals who you belong to. Every time you respond with grace, you remind the world that your spirit isn't ruled by emotion, it's ruled by God. And that quiet strength, that's what sets you apart. The truth is, peace isn't something you wait for, it's something you protect. You don't find it in a quiet room on a perfect day. You build it in the middle of chaos when you choose stillness over reaction and surrender over control. So the next time someone tries to steal your calm, ask yourself, is this worth my peace or am I handing over what God gave me? Because the more you guard your spirit, the more like Christ you become. I just love that, Diana.
I love that too.
And maybe that just spoke to me because I was having a bad day, but there's just some gems in there that if we can just remember, and I hope our listeners at home can listen to this again, maybe take those keynotes down, go watch that video, and I'll include a link. And that is my little lesson on peace to myself and to everyone listening, and to you, Diana, if you ever need it.
Super wonderful job, Dina. I'm so proud of you. You did
Thank you.
great.
Thank you. I want to leave time for Diana's devotions. I hope you have something ready. Diana's been on vacation and she got to pull a rabbit out of a hat right now.
Well, da 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 da, ding ding. Here we go.
Abracadabra.
Let's see what we pull out of this hat here.
Yeah. I love you
So,
guys. And Diana, bring us home.
okay. So we're going to call this today, Are You in the Waiting Season? I'm going to reference Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not grow weary, and they shall walk and not faint. I just love that. It is such a powerful verse. And when you analyze it piece by piece, I love breaking it down as to what does that mean to wait upon the Lord. And actually, Dina talked about a few points that I was going to talk on as well. So I'll just reference that as far as being quiet. When we are waiting on the Lord, it is a season where we do inner reflection of where we're at in our life and where we want to be. And a storm will always bring in that type of an attitude of, hopefully, of prayerful and recognizing that this is not going to last for forever. We all are going to have down times, but it is during the storm when you sometimes have to find that peace, quiet, contentment where you just wait on the Lord. And that is not an easy thing to do. So I want to know, did you all know that eagles rise above the storm? I love that. They don't fight the storm, they just simply rise above it. So why can we not do the same? Because I feel like children of God, we are called to do the same, which means rising above crisis and circumstances that can elevate and get volatile. Be still, step back, recognize that this person is there to, as Dina said, try to control you or aggravate you or make your day bad. Recognize that for what it is and be like an eagle and rise above that. Waiting on the Lord, I believe, is not weakness. There are times where I've had a year of a waiting season where really nothing has happened in my life. But now I look back and it was a time of instruction. It was a time where I found that stillness that Dina was referencing. And waiting is just trusting when you don't understand. And I ask God all the time, God, why is this? Why do you do this? I don't understand. So I do have he knows that I think it, so I might as well say it. But I do question, not that I question his sovereignty, I question his ways, but they are, as the Bible says, they are far above myself. I want to say that waiting is also obedience during the delay. So you're not going anywhere. Things are not really changing in your circumstances, but you are being obedient to sit in the seat and be prayerful and wait on the voice of the Lord before you make any moves. So, waiting produces strength and it produces our elevation where we rise above our situation. And again, waiting is not passive inactivity because it is so much harder to bulldoze through and do things our way. But when we wait on the Lord, that is certainly not being passive, my sweet people. I'm going to end just with reminding you we're all going to have storms, and God calls us to trust Him, to obey, and to remain planted as He renews our strength. Because He is carrying us even when we can't feel it or we don't see His hand. And He is helping us to find endurance for both the extraordinary and just our daily life challenges. I challenge you during your waiting season. This is not time being wasted. This is time for you being prepared to rise and soar like the eagles. That touches my heart, guys. I just have to say, I have a special feeling that I am talking to someone, or hopefully someone's, that this can resonate and help you rise above your situation. Dina and I enjoy our podcast. We hope you listen. We feel like maybe there's something that we could contribute to your life if you spend the time and you really do be obedient and still and wait for God's hand. Love you guys. We'll see you on the next episode. Okay, bye bye.